Matt and David, welcome to FrightFest. You just had the world premiere of the Daemon on David's birthday. How does it feel to have this film finally out in the world?
Really relieving, releasing. Very much all the anxiousness and nervousness gone. Just amazing. Yeah, it couldn't have been better.
Yeah, we're just super excited that people got to see it. Seeing it on the big screen for the first time was incredible. So much hard work went into this film, whether it's cast, crew, special effects, sound, composer is here. Pretty amazing for all of these people that gave so much to the film to see it on that amazing screen at FrightFest.
And there's no better audience than a FrightFest audience. Everyone knows that.
But this is true. I mean, it's been going for 25 years for some reason, right? You know, it's got to be doing something right.
No. You make it here, you make it anywhere.
Nice. And, this is, it's a film, it's screened on, the Friday morning. You guys were here last night, sort of like getting the word out there. How did you find the support from people? Was there a lot of turnout from people that you spoke to yesterday?
Yeah. We loved the turnout. We were super happy with the turnout at the screening. People said they loved the film afterwards, and everyone that came up to us was so thankful to see it and had such great things to say. I think a lot of the dramatic elements that we put in the film really actually hit with people, and people saw that it was more than just a gory film or just a horror film. Multiple people came up to us and said, I'm going to be thinking about this one for days afterwards, and that's exactly what we wanted out of it.
And last night, connecting with people felt like family and home. That's a weird way to say it, but everyone who came up couldn't have been more supportive. They couldn't have been in here. We've always exuded kind of like this 12-year-old passion for making movies, and sometimes that helps, sometimes that hurts, but I think everyone last night, it's like you find your tribe, and everyone came up, loves the stuff that we love, so it was really easy to connect with everybody, and not just about the merchandising, the swag, or bringing a practical hollow head with us, to show everyone, but everyone just seemed to, like, I really want to see this, and there's no better feeling than that, to make something and know it's going to resonate with an audience. So,
and I mean, you mentioned the prop there. How does one transport something that looks like that? First of all,
Well, luckily our other producer and also the lead actor Tyler Rosen carried that through customs and had to open that suitcase. So we haven't asked him yet, but we know it's going to be a really funny story over a beer.
Nice. And what's the plan going forward for this film? Are you guys going to be staying on the festival circuit? Any news of release yet?
No news of release yet. This is our world premiere, obviously. Couldn't have premiered at a better festival, and we're just going to keep going from here. Hopefully, we'll see tons of new audience members at more festivals around the world in the coming months, and hopefully we'll have news of a wide release soon after that.
Was it ambiguous enough for you? We're in the midst of trying to lock something down, and things are looking good. And yeah, we have a lot of festivals that we have already lined up, and hopefully we'll be announcing those over the next couple of weeks. But and hopefully a deal soon too to get it out to the public so everyone can experience the Daemon on the big screen.
Nice. Thanks, guys, so much. Go and enjoy the rest of the festival now that the hard part's over now.
Yeah.
So, welcome to FrightFest. You are here with the Daemon, which has just had its world premiere. You're one of the stars. How was it getting to finally see this film as it was intended to be on the big screen?
Oh my gosh, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, considering this was the first time we saw it, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I was there obviously when we were shooting, and I saw some of the footage, so I knew it was going to look really beautiful. But then watching it all come together was really a magical moment, because even though I filmed it and I knew there were scares, I was still scared watching it, which is maybe silly, but honestly, being here, it really has been a dream and just so fun.
And in the film you play Kathy. Tell me a little bit about her and what it was about her that made you want to get involved in and play her.
So Kathy's a really complicated character. I think on the page she reads really not nice. She really reads as somebody who is kind of maybe wealthy, a little bit bitchy, and I think a lot of times when humans are necessarily like what they're putting out is like not positive, it means that they're hurting on the inside. So when I read her, I was like, I just wanted to play her as somebody who was actually sympathetic and give her some more color as opposed to just having her be sort of like a wealthy rich bitch. And I think that when you get to do that, that, then you get to play a really fun, multi-layered character who's hurting, and maybe that's why she's making the choices she's making and not being kind. And that was a really fun challenge for me, getting to do something like that, where it felt like I had a lot of layers that I got to play. And the guys obviously gave me fantastic work to deal with and to work with, so it was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
And the challenges weren't strictly just, in terms of accessing your character. Your character has quite a lot of practical effects thrown on her. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
So when the directors came to me, they said, listen, Sarah, we really want you to play this role. There's this crazy death scene where basically a guy's face explodes all over your face, and there's going to be buckets and buckets of goo, and you're going to be consumed in a cocoon. And I said, yes, count me in. That sounds like so much fun. So while it was challenging, it was super cold. I was very wet and covered in slime. I think that for me, at least as an actor, I just like to do weird stuff. Like I always say, bring me the weird projects. And rather than it feeling like a challenge or difficult, I was just so geeked about it because I was like, I cannot wait to see what this looks like. And then knowing all of the special effects and the practical effects that were going to go into the death scene, I just was excited. So I think that overtook any sort of like cold or shivering or, uncomfortability that I was having, because it just was fun. And then they dumped, I think it was a total of like 8 gallons of goo. It's wild.
And how long does something like 8 gallons of goo take to, is it still there,
I still have goo in my hair. So what we said is they were like, okay, we're going to call cut, and then there's going to be like 3 stages of goo. We're going to do a little bit, then we're going to do more, and then we'll keep adding and we'll call cut. But they did not call cut, and we did a 3-minute take. And in the 3-minute take, I think it was 2.5 to 3 gallons, maybe it was 5 gallons. It was like a huge chunk of it, and it was so long. And I remember David, the guy who I was playing opposite, we just kept going and going, and then finally we were like, Are we good? And they were like, so it was pretty wild. And then I think it took me like an hour to wash it all off. I remember I went to a hot shower afterwards, and it just kept coming out of my hair. But that's okay.
And where can people see you next? Have you got any other projects lined up that you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah, I do. I actually have I have a rom-com that I shot in Turkey that's on Amazon right now called Lost in Love, so you can check that on Amazon. And I have this film, and then there's another feature that I'll be shooting, hopefully in the future, that I can't say too much about, but it was a short film originally that did the film festival tour, so I'm very excited about that as well. And you can find me at my Instagram at Sarah E.R. Fletcher.
Thank you. Best of luck with the rest of the festival. Thank you. So Tyler, welcome to FrightFest. You're here with the Daemon, which just had its world premiere. How was the experience, and what's the reaction been so far?
It's fantastic. It's always amazing. It's a filmmaker's dream to showcase your film in front of a full audience. It was amazing.
And how did you get involved with this project?
Matt and I are longtime friends. He and I have been filmmaking together for maybe 15 years, and first time he came to my cabin on the shores of Lake Michigan, he was like, we have to shoot a horror film here. And then about a year later, he and Dave presented me with a script and said, we're going to make this film together, and you're playing the lead role. And I was like, okay, I think we should cast somebody. And they said, no, you're going to play it. So that was that.
But how does it feel when someone comes to your house and says, this would make a really good horror film location?
It was weird because it's a location and a place that brings me so much joy to my heart. So it was weird giving it such dark overtones. Yeah, it was weird.
And how's it been since filming?
It's really scary. I have to keep a lot of lights on at night. It's freaky.
Nice. And one of the things, about this film is, it's this great blend of practical and special effects. How much fun is that for you as a performer to get hands-on with some of these elements rather than just seeing them on the screen at the end?
It's amazing. I have a set design fabrication firm in Los Angeles, so I'm constantly working with materials and artisans and sculptors, and this was a new world where it's gore, and Joel Harlow, working with him, was fantastic. Super talented. He has his own shop as well, so I always prefer practical. It looks more real. You get that feel on set. The actors can feel it more. It's nice.
And the film has a lot of H.P. Lovecraft influences and elements to it. Now, this is an author who walked this land a long time ago. What do you think it is about his stories and his creations that still keeps inspiring filmmakers and storytellers today?
I think it's the fantasy that taps into the fears. For this, the Cthulhu, the deep water, in Lake Michigan and the ocean, lakes, water is scary to people.